The NCAA has announced changes that will definitely affect field goals, pace of play, instant replay, blocking, and as I detailed in a previous video, kickoffs. Here's a brief rundown of the changes approved by the NCAA for the upcoming 2018 college football season. Pace of play. The play clock will now reset to 40 seconds after both touchdowns and kickoffs, so players and their teams may want to be extra careful with celebrations and other time-consuming activities. The intent with this change is to speed up the pace of play between touchdowns and what comes after, either the kick for the extra point or two-point conversion attempts. This will also speed up the game between kickoffs and the next offensive series. Field goal penalties. While this is already an option when teams kick extra points, now when teams are kicking 3-point field goals, any unsportsmanlike conduct or personal foul penalties can be enforced on the upcoming kickoff. This is nothing major, it just adds an option of where and when to enforce penalties that occur during field goal attempts. Instant replay collaboration. The NCAA will further experiment with allowing officials to look at instant replays outside of the stadium. In other words, an officiating crew can now use officials located outside of the stadium in the replay process. For example, the refs may utilize other referees who would be located in a conference office at an offsite location. We have seen this before when the SEC has used its Birmingham, Alabama headquarters to help shoulder the burden of a game-changing call. This can be both a good thing and a bad thing in my opinion, as on one hand, it helps further ensure that referee calls are as accurate as humanly possible, and on the other hand, it will occasionally cause the instant replay process to be slower than most of us prefer. Blocking below the waist. Offensive players won't be allowed to block below a defender's waist when the player is more than 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. The NCAA also approved a measure that forces any blocks made below the waist now must come from in front of the player. However, this change does not apply to interior linemen. 10-second runoff on overturned calls. Now, when instant replay overturns the ruling on the field, an automatic 10 seconds is run off from the game clock. This 10-second removal will not occur if the penalty that was overturned was committed inside of 1 minute in either half, or if, to begin with, the refs had made the correct call. This rule requires 3 things to ultimately happen. Number 1, instant replay overturns a call. Number 2, the overturned call must happen in the last minute of a half, so this runoff doesn't occur in the other 58 minutes of the game. Number 3, the instant replay has to be the only reason the clock stopped. So if the clock is not running when the instant replay started, then of course there is no runoff. This oddly niche rule is designed to prevent any team from gaining an unfair late advantage due to instant replay stopping the clock. Fair catches on kickoffs. The NCAA expanded fair catch opportunities for receiving teams on kickoffs. The new rule will allow players to fair catch kicks between the 25-yard line and the goal line. Balls fair caught inside the team's 25-yard line will count as a touchback and place the ball on the receiving team's 25-yard line. I dedicated an entire video to this one rule, and I encourage you to watch that video by clicking the link in the description or the card at the end of the video. Leaping during field goals. During field goals and extra points, it will now be illegal for players on the defending team to leap over the body of an opponent. Technically, this rule was adjusted to mirror a similar rule regarding leaping or jumping the player's shield formed during punts. Man, the NCAA has been busy with adjustments and new rules to our beloved game, football. At any rate, that covers all of the rules and changes that will affect actual gameplay going into this new 2018 football season. If you have any questions about any of these changes, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. Also, let me know what football topics you would like me to cover in future videos, from Alabama football to player breakdowns and anything in between. As always, thanks for watching and take care.